Hello, in this presentation we'll talk about saving and sorting data. And we will be able to organize data files and list different ways to store and transfer data files. So our objective is to be able to know how to download those data files, sort the data files, put them in a relevant order, then think about how we can transport those data files to different types of computers if we're going to work in different locations and different ways to store those data files. So the first way that people download data files, and people are generally pretty good at this, is to download to the desktop or somewhere on the desktop, and that's fine to do that. A lot of people end up with a lot of information though on the desktop, and so I would recommend, of course, making a folder and sorting that data file within the folder. So we'll talk a bit about the sorting of the data within a folder. Then we might have the issue of moving from one place to another, and in that case there's a couple different options. One would be to save something to the cloud, maybe to email it to yourself, or to save it to an external hard drive. So if you're just sorting small data and you want to move small data and take it to one place to another, you can get a pretty cheap external hard drive which has a USB port here, and plug it in, move the data onto the hard drive, and then move somewhere else. If you want to move a lot of your files, like if you want to just have a hard drive for the entire class, you might want to get something larger. And so these are some large external hard drives that could easily save your program. So you can get larger external hard drives as a terabyte, which is a lot of information in that. And then we can talk about the cloud. So there's also various ways you can save things in the cloud. One free, or Google Drive, which is this icon here. Your email is actually a Google account, so you can't get a free Google Drive with your email account. So the student email account is a Google account. I believe you can get to Google Drive using that. If not, then you can just set up a Google account and you can get some free data that you can store online, and that way you don't have to email it to yourself so much. You can just save it in there. There's also some options that you can use to help maximize the amount of storage capacity you have for free online. So first I just want to talk about how to set up a folder, how to organize folder. One way we can organize folders, so for example, way to go for me would just be to right click and make a new and then folder, and I would just name it for the class. So if it was AC 1110, put the 1110. If you want the class name or the instructor's name, you can put that in the name. If you need to rename it, of course you can right click on it and rename, and then you can rename it. If you then double click on it, one way to sort, have 5 weeks in each class, so I like to sort them by week. So generally I'll go in here and I'll make week 1, and I'm going to right click. I'm right clicking in the empty area, going to new folder, week 2. Once again, I'm clicking off, right click on the way you can kind of differentiate your work. So if you have to turn in some late work, if you have to go back into something, it's going to be a lot easier if you have your stuff broken out by class and then further broken out by week. So for example, if we had this Excel document here that we downloaded and we did some work on, and we put some information in here and we want to save it, then of course if this is week 1, I'll go to save as, I'm going to browse, I'm going to put it on the computer on the desktop, I'm going to move down to this folder, and I'm going to put it into week 1 so I know exactly where that is. If we close that up, it's in here, it's under week 1, there's the file, so we can see exactly where it is. We can go to it and upload it if we need to. Now the second problem is, what if you needed to go to another computer? What if you wanted to go to the school and get some help, get some tutoring, saving your data onto an external hard drive like this? This will save more than easily one class's worth of information into a small external hard drive, a USB drive, and that USB would just plug into the port. These are just some prices on Amazon for USB drives. If you were to use that, then you'd plug the USB drive into the port, and then if you were going to open up Explorer, you'd see something like this. Remember that if you're on the computer or the PC, and then wherever you plug it, it'll show up in another port here, meaning external drives, kind of like a video 1, 2, and 3 input drives for a TV. Will have that depending on where you plugged it, and then you can open that up by double clicking and just drag that in there, and then you'd have this file that you can then take to the school and work on it. Now the next option to you is the Google Drive. And a lot of people end up like emailing stuff to themselves and then saving it again. I've noticed when working in the library that a lot of people end up doing that. So another option to that is to save it to the Google Drive instead of emailing it to yourself and then downloading it and going home and saving it again. So I'll show you how to set that up. So if you log into your email account, it will look like this. Now you have a student email account, which is basically a Gmail account that you can go in here and it will look like this. If not, then you can set up a Gmail account and it's free. That would be a free Gmail account. Once you go into here, then you'll see a screen like this, and once you log into your information, and if you go over to this icon here, click on that, you'll see the drive. So you want to set up your drive, and if you open that, then you'll see something like this. Here's your Google Drive. You've got New, you've got My Drive, and this information here. You can share information with other individuals and whatnot. If I wanted to upload, say, that document that I just had, instead of emailing it to ourselves, we can go to My Drive and we can go to upload file. I could upload the whole folder, but I'm going to upload the file in this case. I'm going to go to the desktop, going to go to that folder and upload that here. So there it is. That stands for the Excel type document that we have. I could set up a new folder and we could call it AC1110 and create that. We could then drag that into the folder like so, and then if we open the folder, then we have that information there. Now if we go to another computer, we will have to download it if we wanted to work in Excel with it. So in order to, if I double click, if you wanted to download it and work on it within Excel, then you could hit this download button, and I'm in Google Chrome, so it's going to open like this. Different types of browsers will have different types of downloads. Of course, my security's saying a warning over there, but that's okay. Download, you'd have to enable the editing, and then you'd have to save it. So go to save, and we could put it, we could save it back on the desktop. And that's where you'd have to go in order to upload it again. So if you then close it up, then now you have it on the desktop here, and you'd have to upload it up again if you wanted to put it into Moodle Rooms or something like that. A couple other options to look at while we're in. Notice that if you did not want to download it and you just wanted to work into it in a similar spreadsheet type format, we could open this in the Google format. So one way to do that is I can right click on this and I can open with Google Sheets, which is kind of like Google's Excel type thing. It doesn't have as much functionality, but you'll notice it opens within the internet browser here. And then we do have a lot of functions that are similar to Excel. So you see a lot of the similar functions. So if you needed to do some information in here and type in data in this format, then it will save it in that format. So when we close it, notice what happens. It made another sheet. This is the Excel sheet. This is the Google Sheets. So if I open this back up, then I can do work kind of in real time without having to save it back in the machine and upload it in that format. Then when I'm done with it, then I download it. And once again, that'll download it as an Excel document, allowing me then to upload it to the Moodle Rooms or something like that. Other thing to note here, so it's right here, another thing to note is that if you run out of space, if you use this a lot, then these do not take up space for their storage space, for your free storage space. So if you deleted this one and you just kept the Google Doc, then those are free. So you can have as many of these as you want and transfer as much information as you want.